Hello, pals, and welcome to part 1 of my July reading wrap-up. I understand that it is almost the middle of August, however, don't care. So, in this portion, I'm splitting it up between series and standalones. I read, 19 books in July, and so 9 of them were series, and then 10 of them were 9 of them were standalones, and 10 of them were a part of a series. So, diving right in, I'm going to go over the books that I don't have on paperback first. So starting off, we have Devious Lies by Parker S. Huntington, and it follows Emery and Nash. I have it all written on my hand, don't worry. Emery and Nash, and pretty much what happened was, I liked this book, I did. It follows Nash and Emery, and Emery's family is, really rich. I'm playing with my dog right now, that's why this is happening. But Emily's family was, really rich, and Nash's family worked for Emery's family, and they were neighbors. And Emery's also best friends with Nash's younger brother. Nash is, 10 years older than them or something. So, Nash didn't like the Winthrops, which is Emily's family. Nobody did really. And then there was a whole big scandal, and suddenly Emery was the outcast and all of this. And then she started working for Nash, which was a part of his revenge plot or some shit. I don't know. It was good. A lot of people didn't like it apparently, which valid. I feel like it was more of a bully romance. So I can definitely see why some people didn't like it. But I also feel like it wasn't, this is Bentley. Bentley, get off of me. I don't think it was that different from Darling Venom. I think that the writing styles were very similar, and it was just as dark as Darling Venom. So, I don't know. It was written interestingly sometimes though. So, I don't know. I did give it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. So, yeah, that was book 1, and then I read, I went to a concert, and I read, while I was waiting in line, I read Don't Call Me Daddy. I can't say this author's name, so we're just gonna put it over there. But, this book, surprisingly good. I saw something about it on TikTok. TikTok books are hit or miss, because some of them are actually good, and some of them are actually absolutely terrible, and it makes me homicidal. So, Beans, stop it. This one was actually one of the good ones. It follows Ivy and Leo, and pretty much Ivy has a tragic backstory kind of, and so she has a list of things that she wants to do because her sister died. And so she has this list of things that her and her sister were supposed to do, and she's carrying out that list. And whilst carrying out that list, her car breaks down in this small town that has a ghost festival every year. And so she breaks down in the middle of the woods, and then this man named Leo, who his family owns the town, he stops her and finds her and helps her. And they don't really get along at first, but somehow along the way they enter a fake dating agreement, it's actually a fake engagement agreement, because she needs money and he needs clout. So they do that. The title, very misleading. It wasn't actually, well, the title's not that misleading, but it was a really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave this one 4 stars as well. I think that this is a series. I hope it's a series, because Leo has 3 brothers, and I want to know all about all of them. I thought it was really interesting because I feel like the plot was really well developed. And some people felt like it dragged on. I didn't. One thing about me, I would be okay if books never ended. I love them. And I think that this one was near perfect. I mean, everybody had a little bit of issues, but it wasn't oh, we can't be together because of this. And, there was no 3rd act breakup, which was super nice and super cool. But yeah, I, thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a fly on my phone right now. This is not for you, Bentley. And then I read, okay, the next 2, I'm going to say their names, and then we're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about them because they were stupid. So I read Rocked by You and Frozen Over. Both of these I started reading because I saw them on TikTok, And so I was like, okay. I literally, like, saw one of the little smut scenes on TikTok, and I was like, oh, yes, perfect. Not perfect. They were both actually kind of terrible. Rocked by You was better than Frozen Over. I couldn't tell you a single thing about Frozen Over. It was bad. I didn't like it. I felt like it was, like, all over the place, and, like, there was, like, 7 different plots going on at once, and it was like, this is fucking stupid. And the book probably could have been 100 pages and would have been fine, and instead it was, like, at least 200, and it was terrible. And then Rocked by You is about a bodyguard, an Irish bodyguard, and some pop princess. Also wasn't that great. Apparently it's a part of a series. Wasn't that great. Didn't like it. Yeah. You don't need to read those. You don't need to waste your time with those ones. This damn dog keeps biting me. Vicious pit bull. And then the last book that I read that's a standalone is Colt by Cora Riley. And it's apparently this one is also a part of a series, but I just didn't know. And I only read one book in this series, but I got an advanced reader's copy. And Colt follows Kaylin and Spencer, but he goes by Colt because it's a motorcycle. His dad is the president of a motorcycle club, and so, like, he shot somebody with a Colt something. I don't know. Anyway, so pretty much what happens is Caitlin and Colt have known each other and, like, known of each other their whole lives, but they could never be together because Caitlin's dad is the president of one motorcycle club and Spencer's dad is the president of a different motorcycle club. So they were like, we can't be together, whatever. And so they weren't together. And one night, Spencer moved to Las Vegas. So one night he was in town and they had a one-night stand, and Caitlin ended up getting pregnant. So because of that one-night stand, Spencer is back in town. And with that, a whole bunch of shit starts going down. And, like, in both motorcycle clubs, shit starts getting real. And it's like, okay, who can we trust? Because Caitlin's used to growing up one way because of the way that her dad ran his club. And Spencer's used to growing up a different way because of the way that his dad ran his club. And so I really liked this book mainly because I felt like Caitlin and Colt were meant to be together, but the baby gave them a valid reason. Like, they would have found a way eventually, but this baby was a perfect reason to bring them together, and they both loved the baby. Like, they weren't together solely because of the baby. They would have been together regardless eventually, but this just sped things along. And I really liked that, and I think that they were both really good parents, which is fun, fresh, and exciting. And I liked how they worked through issues instead of just being like, oh no, like, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to do anything about that. Like, let's just not communicate like adults. They actually communicated, and that was beautiful to me. I give this one 4 stars, and I stand by that rating. I thought it was very enjoyable. So yeah, and then moving on to what I have in paperbacks. I have Body Check by Elle Kennedy. This book sucked. I didn't like it. I think I gave it like 2 stars. It was bad. It followed Brody and Hayden. And Hayden's some fucking teacher and Brody's a hockey player. And Hayden's like, oh, I want to be a bad girl. So she fucks this hockey player. And then he becomes obsessed with her. But, like, not in a cute way. Like a, are you serious right now way? And Hayden's dad owns the team that Brody plays on. So it was like, what are we doing right now? They, like, tried to act like they didn't know each other. It was gross. I didn't like this. Elle Kennedy knows how to write. She didn't with this book, though. And this book was, like, one that she wrote a long time ago, and she re-released it. Would have been fine if she didn't re-release it. But yeah, I didn't like it. Hayden was annoying and acted like a child 97% of the time, and it was like, girl, just go to therapy. And Brody was stupid. So, yeah, I didn't like this book. Moving on, we have, The Au Pair Affair. Au Pair? Au Pair? Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. I loved this book. This is a hockey romance. It follows Maverick and Tallulah. I can't say this name, and we know I can't say this name. I love this name. Can't say it. I think it's Maverick. No, his name is Burgess. Does he have a last name? I didn't like that his name is Burgess, but anyway, so pretty much Burgess, this is also a part of a series. It's part of the Big Shot series, but it was supposed to be a duology, and now it's going to become a trilogy. That's how you say that word. Anyway, so it follows Burgess and Tallulah, and Tallulah is a marine biologist, and she's going to school in Boston while she's getting her PhD, but she needs a place to live. And so you learn about them in the first book too. Kind of. You get more backstory in the first book. Burgess is a single dad hockey player. And Tallulah and him enter an arrangement where she watches his daughter, because he has trouble connecting with his daughter, but Tallulah's really good at it. So she watches his daughter, and she gets to stay at his house. So they end up getting together, but then they break up. The beautiful thing about this book, this man grovels for 100 pages. 100 pages of straight groveling. And it was, Bentley, you can't just bite me when you're playing. I understand what you're doing, but goddamn. Anyway, it's like 100 pages of just straight groveling. And it's beautiful. And he's aware. He's like, this is what I need to do. Definitely check trigger warnings on this book, but he was like, this is what I need to do, so I'm going to do it. And he did the damn thing. The only downside about this book is it was told in third person and made me want to throw up. But Tessa Bailey does know how to write in third person, and I do appreciate that. Her books are the only books that I can, like, semi-tolerate that are in third person. So, moving right along, we have Game Changer by Lana Ferguson. I didn't realize I read so many hockey books this year, but this month, it's a brother's best friend romance, and it's her older brother plays hockey. It follows, is her name Layla? No, it's Ian and Delilah. Ian? I don't like that his name is Ian. What is it with these names? Anyway, so it follows Ian, the redhead, and Delilah. Delilah's a baker, and Ian's a hockey player, and they were also, like, kind of friends. He plays hockey with her brother, and so, like, they grew up together, sort of. And, anyway, they enter an arrangement where they, like, fake date for publicity because he just came out of a really bad breakup, and she's a baking show, and it's struggling for views. So they enter a fake dating relationship, but we all know that the feelings were real, obviously. Don't remember much about this book. Do know that I did enjoy it. It was very good. It was cute. It was just cute. And I think this was also in third person. Yeah. Wait. Well, it's dual POV. I know that. No, it's not in third person, which I like. It was a good book. It was cutesy. It was, yeah. Lana Ferguson is a jack of all trades, and I appreciate that about her. I like her writing. I think I give this 4 stars, 3.5 to 4 stars. I wasn't expecting, like, gold out of it, so, like, I'm okay with that. It was good, and I'll stand by that. Then, this is also technically a part of a series, but the other 2 books were in June's reading wrap-up. Yeah. So, this one is Bright Lights and Summer Nights by Kat Singleton, and it is the 3rd book in the Black Tie Billionaire series, and it follows, I don't know their names, Willa, I want to say, Preston, I want to say it's Preston and Willa, Emma, not Willa. So pretty much, Emma's 25 and unemployed, and Preston's a professional football player, and they meet one night because Emma's staying at her friend's house in the Hamptons, and so she sneaks into a wedding that's happening at the Hamptons, and it happens to be Preston's sister's wedding. And so when Preston catches Emma breaking in, he, like, brings her inside, and they get to chatting, and then everybody starts to think that they're dating. So they play into the scheme, and for a week, they pretend to fake date. And they do all of these wedding things together and all of this jazz. And it's beautiful. It was cute. This man is, I I liked him, I think. I read this at the very beginning of the month, so, like, details, little fuzzy. I do know, though, that Emma was there in the Hamptons by herself because she wanted to, like, discover herself. And at one point in the book, she does end up taking a break from Preston. I don't know if this is a spoiler. Maybe a little. Okay, this is a little bit of a spoiler. He ends up, like, they take a break for a while because Emma's like, I need to discover myself. And, like, me getting into this relationship with you is not doing that. And I think that that was really powerful because, like, Ms. Girl said, you are not somebody who can fix me. Like, you can't fix me. And there is something to be said for somebody knowing that somebody else can't fix them. And I thought that that was really cool because usually, like, in books, it's like, oh, I met a man and it fixed everything. And Emma defies that stereotype. And it was beautiful. This series was super, it wasn't like gold, but it was like a solid 4-star series. I liked it. I really liked the women friendships in this. Some things that happened in these books were like, ooh, that is like a glaring red flag. But I love a good little red flag. Whatever green and red makes together, beautiful to me. I think it's purple. I don't know my colors, but yeah, so I really liked this one. I would say I give this one a 4-star rating. I think that this one was my favorite out of all 3 of them. Yeah. Anyway, so those are all I have for my standalones. But my series video will be posted right after this, where we dive deeper into the series that I read. Any hooters. See you next time, pals.